Wow, what a jam-packed reveal. I hope you didn't buy an iPhone 13 recently because you might be disappointed. Or not. I'll tell you why in a bit. What's up, Team Tech Avengers? My name is Jer. I make videos on the technology in our lives and how we can use it to make our lives better. Now, getting right into the Apple event, we have a lot that was covered today, including the iPhone 14 and its variants. We also got a look into the new version of the AirPods, Apple Watch, and much more. We'll get into all of that real soon. So let's talk about the iPhones first. We have 4 new iPhone variants with an insane amount of new colors. The iPhone 14, the cheapest offering, coming in at $799, with the iPhone 14 Plus at $899. We have Super Retina XDR displays on here with colors of Midnight, Starlight, Blue, Purple, and Product Red. Displays are 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches respectively. They are cheaper displays than the Pro models, as the 14 variant is meant for the everyday user that doesn't really need the latest and most powerful smartphone. We have a 12 megapixel main shooter, nothing spectacular, but we also have some improvement to low light photos. And the front-facing camera now has autofocus for the first time. So some small improvements here, but not too many. They claim an improved stabilization system for video, which is much needed. This will also be on the Pro models. Again, the iPhone 14 lineup is not for the avid photographer or videographer, so they mostly skim this part. Here's a new change. There will no longer be SIM trays on US versions of the iPhone. That's gutsy, Apple. One feature that Apple has introduced in this year's lineup of iPhones brings safety front and center. Along with crash detection, we have emergency SOS via satellite. This means never losing connection no matter where you are in the US or Canada, at least for now, even if you're away from cellular reception. Details on how this works is incredible, including compressing messages to emergency service providers and creating brand new infrastructure to help support all of this. All of this isn't free, but will be provided for free for the next 2 years with the purchase of a new iPhone. It is also currently available in the US and Canada only. Remember, we have a 14 and a 14 Pro. They are 2 different lineups with 2 different sub-variants. The great thing about this design is that it is tried, tested, and true, aka same as the iPhone 13. So all your iPhone 13 cases may or may not work with this new version. I'm not 100% sure because the camera bump is the only X factor here, and we'll have to get it in person in order to verify that. Everything else, including the dimensions, look exactly like the iPhone 13. Okay, when I said buying the iPhone 13 might be a mistake, well, it probably isn't. The iPhone 14 is not at all different from last year's model, except for the updated ultra-wide camera. Right now is an excellent time to go on the used market and find an iPhone 13 at a discounted rate, since everybody will be wanting to move to the iPhone 14. Now with the iPhone 14, there are just 2 lenses on this model, and we also have the same A15 chip from last year, so you're really just buying a repackaged iPhone 13. Kind of a rip-off. If you want to stick with the 14 variant and you want to get more battery life as well as a bigger screen, you should go for the iPhone 14 Plus. Now the iPhone 14 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max is where we shine. These 2 beasts have some upgraded processors, displays, cameras, everything. There is a stark difference in the display design compared to any other iPhone before it, including the iPhone 14, because we have a pill-shaped design. Apple did a little sorcery with this one and utilized both hardware and software to maximize real estate on the device. You no longer have the camera and the mic indicators in the notification bar, rather they will merge seamlessly by bridging the cutouts on the screen. And this is not just for notification lights. This innovative technology utilizes the pill-shaped design on the display and expands the information it delivers, which is incredibly brilliant, allowing you to see notifications at a glance for sports scores, phone calls, everything. They call this feature Dynamic Island, and I'm loving it. Pretty nifty. Again, the Pro has a 6.1 inch display and the Pro Max has a 6.7 inch display. Speaking of display, we have a 120Hz ProMotion display on the Pro lineup, something the iPhone 14 does not rock. We also have an always-on display for the Pro models. The display bezels are much thinner than the older iPhones. It seems like the regular iPhone 14 is becoming less and less appealing. There is a triple lens camera setup on the Pro models. We have a 48 megapixel camera with a quad pixel sensor. It looks like this lens upgrade is quite massive, and we have 2 times the improvement to low light photos compared to the iPhone 13. Of course, Apple has these stage photos at every event to show the power of these cameras, but we need to see this in real-world usage. We have overall improvements to the ultra-wide and the macro lenses, again, also when shooting in low light. Essentially, we have the ability for 4 lenses with just 3. Cinematic mode also has some improvements for video, but again, nothing too groundbreaking in my opinion. I've always hated the quality drop when I'm moving to ultra-wide, so maybe this won't be a problem anymore. Again, this won't be available on the regular iPhone 14 models. Now, the camera bump in the new 14 Pro models look a little bit bigger than previous, so you're not going to be able to use the same cases, unfortunately. That sucks. You'll have to factor that into the price when you're purchasing the iPhone as well, too. Gonna have to look at accessories. We have colors in space black, silver, gold, and deep purple. The beautiful Sierra blue that we had on the previous 13 models is nowhere to be seen. Now, the chip is an all-new A16, which, despite whatever Apple told you in this event, is not going to be a significant improvement over the A15 chip that's found in the iPhone 14 and the iPhone 13. Whatever you hear is just marketing mumbo jumbo. The average user is not going to notice a significant speed difference. We have the same 6 GB of RAM that's found on both models, so again, not a huge departure from previous models. Oh, and I should mention that we have lightning ports on all of the iPhones that were announced today. There's no USB-C, so don't get excited. The iPhone 14 is starting at $999 and the iPhone 14 Pro Max starts at $1,099. Pre-orders start September 9th and availability is on September 16th. Next up, we have an updated Apple Watch Series 8. Apple has unveiled the Apple Watch Series 8 as well as the Apple Watch SE 2. And get this, an Apple Watch Ultra. This is actually getting ridiculous. How many variants are we gonna see? Here we have the Apple Watch Series 8. This includes an always-on display and all the great sensors you're used to. There are some new sensors added to the watch, such as body temperature sensors, and Apple is taking a more focused approach on women's health. They have enhanced the cycle tracker to be more informative in the new Series 8, so this is really good news for women. We also have crash detection on the Apple Watch Series 8 that is now possible with 2 new sensors on the watch. This will automatically detect when you got into a car accident and notify emergency services as well as your family. That is so cool. They are also introducing a low power mode, which will give you 36 hours on a single charge. And this low power mode will come to Series 4 and above with watchOS 9. Finally, we have a bunch of new colors for the Apple Watch as well as some new premium finishes. The Apple Watch will start at $399 for GPS and $499 for the cellular version. You can order today and it will be available September 16th. The Apple Watch SE 2 comes in silver, midnight, and starlight. They have redesigned the back cases and it includes the same motion sensors as the Series 8 to detect crashes. It's also 30% larger than the previous model, which might be great for some of you. Again, Apple skimmed over this. We have it at $249 for the GPS version and $299 for the cellular version. Now here is where we get introduced to a new model in the lineup. We have the Apple Watch Ultra designed for the adventure. So if you love the outdoors, you're going to love this. It has a great action button that will automatically choose the appropriate workout for athletes, with a side button that is designed to be used with gloves, and I believe you can customize this button as well. There's also a second speaker to be even louder in the outdoors. This Apple Watch was designed for avid hikers, swimmers, any type of athlete really. It's amazing. Night mode on the Ultra looks awesome as well, and I really hope it comes to the regular Apple Watches. Highly doubtful, but here's to hoping. We have 36 hours on a single charge, 60 hours on low power mode, which is exclusive to this Apple Watch, by the way. One of the features I love here is Backtrack, which can trace your steps when you're out in the backcountry so you never get lost. The Apple Watch Ultra is designed different from any other Apple Watch before it. We have a new GPS system that Apple claims to be much more accurate for positioning, something that will be amazing for avid hikers who like to explore the backcountry. Price? Well, we're looking at a whopping $799, which you can drop today, and it will be available on September 23rd. It might be time to upgrade from my Apple Watch Series 5, but I'm gonna have to try it out first before I make a full decision. Okay, the new AirPods Pros. We have finally received an update with an H2 chip and new audio drivers. They claim that these new AirPods will double the amount of noise cancellation that is available on the previous AirPod Pro model. The new AirPod Pros will now have touch control and longer battery, which will give you 6 hours of listening time and 30 hours with the charging case. Speaking of charging case, we have that built-in U1 technology and a speaker to help you find your case when you lose it. So now you're bringing this into the umbrella of Find My devices that are available in the Apple ecosystem. It also includes the ability to use your MagSafe charger for your watch to charge your AirPod case if needed. This is a substantial update. The new AirPods will cost you $249 and you can order on September 9th with availability on September 23rd. Now obviously the new version of iOS has been out for some time now to the developers as well as public beta testers such as myself, and we finally get a release date of September 12th. There are a slew of new features in iOS 16. If you haven't checked out my YouTube shorts or my Instagram reels, you should definitely check those out because I cover a lot of those features there. What do you think of everything that was announced today at Apple's event? Are you gonna get a new iPhone or a new Apple Watch? What are you most excited about? I'm honestly really curious to hear from you all, so sound off in the comments down below. As for myself, I'm obviously pondering whether I should upgrade my iPhone 11 Pro Max to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, but we'll have to see what happens there. As always, I will be giving you an in-depth and an unbiased review, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. Remember, pre-orders start on September 9th, and the release date is September 16th. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. As always, I'm Jared. Don't forget, when it comes to tech, the Tech Vengers are there. We got your back.